Hello and welcome to a basic instruction guide for the Velox Radiology Viewer. Simply go to your desktop and double-click the icon to begin the application. Enter your login name and your password and click Login. Once it's open, you'll notice the overall layout of the screen. The work list and tool buttons are along the top, and to the left is the side panel where you'll see all images and relevant documents. To the right, you'll notice the viewer. This is the largest and main component of your application where you will be able to fully see these items. This viewer will be available on all monitors. In my case, I only have one, but for those of you who have multiple monitors, the viewer will open on each of them. The work list button is located in the top left-hand corner, and to the right of the work list button, you'll see how many encounters and procedures you have. When you click on your work list button, you'll notice the items on your work list. The first time you click on the work list button, it may take a few moments to load. The green indicators here show a ready status, so each of these cases can be accessed. Beside the work list button is also a refresh button. Your work list displays all the patients assigned to the radiologist. By default, stat and urgent cases are displayed at the top of the list. The red indicator is specific for stat cases, as you can see here. When you click on a patient in your work list, it will expand to show the documents and images affiliated with this patient. The first time you do this, your viewer panels will be empty. In my case, I've already accessed this information. Going back to our work list, you can sort by any attribute. You can also resize and reposition any of these columns. So for instance, in this case, if you'd like to sort the patient's names in alphabetical order, you simply click on the header and it will put it in alphabetical order and then in reverse once again by simply clicking it. If you find that a column is less relevant, you may want to move it. For doing that, you simply hold the column title and you move it. For instance, image status may be less relevant and you can move it further down. In some cases, you may want to broaden or narrow some of your columns. You can do that. Once again, if you go between columns in the headers, you'll notice that you have a double-sided arrow. You can simply drag while holding your mouse to expand or narrow. The Radiology Viewer will save your preferences for the work list layout, so the next time you open the application, the setup will remain in the same format. To open a patient, simply click on the name of the patient in the work list. I'm going to click on Mary Smith. To see images and documents in the viewport, simply drag them from the left panel directly into the right. Looking at the left panel, you'll notice that you have all documents and images. Beneath that, you will also see a history of the patient. You also have access to this information. Simply click on this information and it will expand. These images in their history are also available for you to drag into the viewer. Beneath that, you'll also notice that you have access to non-relevant history. Should you choose to look into that, you can click on that and it will expand and give you further information on non-relevant history. At the top of the left-hand panel, you are able to change the urgency of the case. So currently the status is stat. If you see based on your findings that this requires changing, you can do so here. Beneath that, you can also select a teaching collection by clicking on the drop-down and making that selection. Now let's have a look at our toolbar along the top. The first item on the toolbar is the split screen. Split screen selects the number of the viewers on each monitor. The split series, directly to the right of it, selects the numbers of series within the viewer. So for this viewer, I'm going to make the selection to see 2. If you have more than 2 images, to view more images on the right-hand panel, or the panel that you've chosen, you can simply use your arrow buttons on your keyboard, or you can use the scroll bar to the center of your mouse and scroll up and down and view all of the images. I only have the 2 images in this case. You'll notice that some of the toolbar items are indicated with the letter L or R. L or R indicates what key of the mouse they are affiliated with. So for instance, this item, which is pan or drag, is on the left mouse key. Simply hold the left mouse key while panning or dragging the image. The next item is the zoom button. So if you make that selection, you go to your image, you right-click, and it allows you to enlarge the item or take it back to its original size or decrease the size. The next item on the toolbar is the true scale. True scale will put the image to the original size in which it was taken. Directly to the right-hand side of it, you'll notice the magnifying glass. I'm going to select the image beneath as the one I'd like to magnify. I'm going to click on this tool, and it allows me to magnify a portion of this image. Directly to the right of that, you'll notice that there is the step-by-step preview, and that's typically used with hanging protocols. You'll notice at the end of each series of tools, there is a reset position. This resets the image and brings it back to its original state. Moving forward with the next set of our tools, you'll notice the brightness and contrast tool. Simply click on it. Notice that there's the letter R indicating that it's the right mouse. Select your image and you can move your mouse to contrast and brighten your image. The next item on the toolbar is the inversion. Simply select it and you can invert the image. This is the change window level, and it makes more sense when looking at X-ray images. Again, to the right, you'll notice the reset button, which will clear all the changes you've made. Directly to the right of it, you'll notice that you have the rotate right, the rotate left, the flip horizontally, vertically, and once again reset the position. So let's go ahead and do that. And once again, we reset. Here we see our measurement skills. You can use the ruler to measure. This is a standard angle. You can create a standard angle and followed by the Cobb angle. Once again, you can delete your measurements by using the clear button. The next set of tools are specific for MRIs. First, you see the synchronized stacking, followed by reference lines. And here's the show or hide overlays button, which you may find useful. The final set of tools we have are annotation tools. The first one is the show or hide annotations. Once you submit a case at the end, the viewer will ask you if you want to save the annotations. Here you have an ellipse. To the right of it, you have an arrow. And the final item is for text. So if you'd like to highlight a particular area, and then draw a line indicating where the arrow is for, and then specifically the text will tell us why you're choosing to highlight this location. Above the toolbar, you'll see the Submit for Transcription button, which submits your case to the transcriptionists, and if this is part of your workflow. Or if you are using a speech mic, you can use your EOL button. If you create your report here in the system using a voice recognition software, you can edit the report using the Edit button or New Report button. It will open the report template to which you can edit or you can create a report using voice recognition software. You can also use your templates. For example, if you have a normal template for shoulder, if it's available to you, you can click on the template to populate with text. So here are our templates. I'm going to select this one just as an example to show you how it populates and how you can make edits to it. So you can click on the template and make changes in the body of the report, and after that you can save and sign the report. The Save and Sign button is right here, or if you choose to, you can discard the report here. If everything is okay with the report, you can go to the Submit Signed Report button along the very top. To the right of it, if there happens to be something wrong with it, for example, like the documents or the images are missing, you would click the Reject to Technologist button. Here it will take it back to the technologist who will receive an alert and then fix it and sign it back to your work list. In some cases, if you don't want to read the case right at that moment and want to get back to it at a later time, you can use the Skip to the Next Encounter button. I'm going to click it. Because we have annotations, this is where it'll ask you if you'd like to save them. In my case, I'm not going to save them. So now it's going to my next case. And now I'm going to go back to my patient that I was working with. Now let's look at dictation options. You can use your speech mic or you can use the radiology viewer buttons in the top right hand side. Here you'll notice the red circle for starting and stopping recording, and to the right you'll see a green triangle for playing it back to here. To the right you'll notice that there's a delete audio button as well. Once recording has started, you will see the audio process indicator button or an indication on the screen that will appear on the player, and you'll see that recording has begun. Once the case is done, you can use your EOL button on the speech mic, or you can go to the Submit for Transcription button here on the top left. Let's go back to our work list and cover some search options. To search the entire archive, you simply click on the Search button, and beneath it you can search a variety of filters by clicking in the broad field beneath it. So here you can search by clinics, modalities, statuses, and specifically as well as the patient. So I'm going to enter the name Smith, and I'm going to click on the button Find, and here you'll see the entire archive, not just the cases that are assigned to your work list. This filter is very, very flexible. Let's go back to a new search. I'm going to simply click X on the patient Smith and go to my search button, and now I'd like to search for all the cases that I've done in the last week. I simply click on the calendar on the right hand side of my search modality, and I click on a date previous to this by 1 week. Then I click Find, and I can see the patients that I have had on that list. Within the search function, you're also able to filter by clinic, modality, and statuses of the cases, and the course dates, and even the accession numbers. At the very top of the screen, you'll notice the My Archive function. Simply click here to see all cases recently dictated or finalized by you. This will show you the most recent cases, so the very top ones are the last cases, the newest cases that we've finalized, and the bottom ones are the ones that are the oldest in date. If you want to review any of these cases and to make changes, simply click on it. And in the top right hand corner, you can change the status. to Images Attached, and now it'll be back on your work list. You'll also notice the Peer Review tab along the top. This will show you all the cases that are assigned to you that require peer review, and you can open the case and make your grade selection from there. I don't have a list, but you can click on it and you'll see the list, and once you select each case, it will open up and ask you to make your selection. If signing reports is part of your workflow, you can do it at the To Sign tab here along the top. Here you'll see all of the reports that were recently transcribed. You can see the body of the report on the right-hand side panel. In the event that there are several, you'll see it once again in the right-hand panel. You can either choose to sign one or sign all of the reports in this list. The top button will allow you to make your decision for one or all. Along the bottom, it will allow you to simply sign that one report. And this concludes our overall video tutorial for basic introduction to Velox Radiology Viewer. If you need any further assistance, please call our technical support team at 416-699-4125, and we will be glad to help you. Thank you very much.